What's going on, guys? My name's Sam, I'm from Pioneer, and here we have the TORAIZ SQUID new multi-track sequencer. In association with Bob DJ, we've done 3 videos for you, and each video is showing some different features and different ways of using the TORAIZ SQUID. So within this video, I'm going to be talking about how I've set all my equipment up here, what equipment I'm using, how to select my MIDI channels and control up to 16 devices we're using the SQUID. And obviously things can get a little bit complicated once everything gets going. So I'm just going to show you something really cool to, yeah, just, you know, make sure you know exactly what's running what within the TORAIZ SQUID. So the first thing I want to discuss is the outputs in the back. We've got DIN sync in and out. You've got the CV gate 1 and 2 with clock in and out for your modular gear, MIDI in, MIDI out, and then you've also got a MIDI out to and through. I'm using both of the outputs of the MIDIs here. And then you've got USB, which is currently going into Ableton Live, and I'm controlling a VST coming back into the SQUID. So we'll take it through sort of the chain of where I've gone with everything. So MIDI out 1 is going straight into my SP16. And the reason why I've used the TORAIZ SP16 is 1, it's part of the family range, and 2, it's a really, really good piece of kit for percussion, arrangements, effects. Yeah, you know, it really is a good piece of kit to work in conjunction with the TORAIZ SQUID. From out of the SP16, I've then gone into the AS1, which is definitely one of my favourite synthesizers out there, the TORAIZ AS1 Dave Smith analog synthesizer. And then the audio from the TORAIZ AS1 has actually gone back into the line in of the SP16, and the reason for this is because when I've selected a channel here, I can actually add an effect from that. So I've added a ducker effect, meaning my bass line coming from here, or any sound coming from here, is ducked to my kick, so it gives that nice little jumpy sidechain feel. And then out of my AS1, I've then gone straight into my subsequent 37 from Moog. Really, really cool piece of kit over here. So far, these are all being controlled and sequenced by the SQUID here. And then out of MIDI 2, I've gone directly into my Korg MIDI log over here. So just to make sure everything's working. Good, everything's now working. So this then brings me to the SQUID itself, TORAIZ SQUID. So as I've previously said, you can control up to 16 pieces of hardware or software VST with inside the SQUID. There's certain things that I like to do first before I get going with you creating a project or sequencing some hardware. One of which is obviously selecting MIDI channels. So every one of these pieces of equipment has got its own MIDI channel, which is how the SQUID is then controlling the hardware or, for example, the software. One key thing you need to know is always start a new project if you're going to be wiring everything up and getting everything going and starting making a new track. Start a new project. Why I'm saying this is because these then revert straight to MIDI 1 to 16. Now you're probably thinking, well, hang on, he's just said we're using MIDI 2 as well. That's fine, because what I've done is I've selected 1 to 12, running all my sounds from my SP16 over here. 13 has actually gone to USB channel 1. Now what I've done is very basically, using the encoder, I can scroll through to MIDI 2 channel 6, 7, 8, 9, etc. or MIDI 1 channel 11, 12, 13, etc. And you just scroll around to tell what track 13 needs to be doing, which is currently controlling one of the VSTs within Ableton. So that sound's coming straight from one of the Ableton presets. 14, really nice long reverberated tail on the end of that as well, which is perfect. 14 is actually coming out of MIDI 2, so all I've done is use my encoder and I've selected MIDI 2 channel 14. It's very basic, very basic. And 15 is MIDI 1 channel 15, and 16 is back to MIDI 2 channel 16. So it's just remembering where you've gone of your outputs of your SQUID realistically, and where you've gone into with your hardware. So the next thing I like to do is I like to do a bit of housekeeping with my tracks, so I know exactly what's controlling what. So when I click up here on track mode, this is now telling me which track is being sent to which MIDI channel, or it could be CV, or it could be DIN sync, or it could be the USB. I'm going to hold shift and select track, and this brings me to the information per track. So you can have the track name. So for example, on 13, 14, 15 and 16, I've selected 13, I've renamed it as Ableton, 14 sub 37, 15 Minilog, 16 is the AS1. The rest of them I would have put SP16. Within here again, you can do a track speed, color, delay. So if you want to add a delay, say for your bass line, a millisecond delay per track, you can do that. But I'm going to jump back to color, and I'm going to color these so I know exactly which track is controlling or sequencing which piece of hardware. So the AS1 I'm going to make simple. I'm going to make this completely red. So tracks 1 to 12, I'm just going to turn red by using the encoder here. Select OK. So now 1 to 12 are now red, which tells me I'm controlling the SP16. 13, 14, 15 and 16 are external hardware. It's different pieces of hardware. So I'm going to go sort of like a yellowy orange for my Ableton. 14 I'm going to make blue, turquoise, just completely different colors. Click OK. Now when I go back to the home screen and select track, you'll now see that track 1 to 12 is now controlling the SP16, 13 is Ableton, 14 is my sub 37, 15 is my Minilog, 16 is my AS1. So there you have it guys, there's the first part of the 3-part video. This was very much talking about managing the Squid before your setup and your MIDI channels and how they can all work to be sequenced by the Squid. Stay in touch and we'll be with video number 2 very soon.